action director extraordinaire, here to talk with me about Ballerina, from the world of John Wick. Ballerina, what are we officially calling this thing? What would you like us to refer to it as?
I mean, everybody's referring to it as Ballerina.
Okay, then
so
that's
I think
what
it'll
we'll...
become, Ballerina is the of the from the world of John Wick, but I just keep hearing Ballerina. So they can call it whatever they want, as long as they can use the long title or the short title.
All right, sounds good to me. So for Ballerina, I've been hearing about this project, it feels like, for forever. I'm sure you must be relieved to know that this thing is finally being released to the world right now. You guys shot this thing, was it 2022? Mm-hmm. Was it? Yeah, so this has been in the pipeline for quite some time at this point. How are you feeling now that it's about to be seen by the rest of the world at this point, given how long this production has been going on for?
It's always it feels great. It's always a kind of relief to have it done. There's because it's now all the fun stuff begins. Movie is done, and now just talking about it, showing it to an audience, and so that part's exciting, and a relief in the sense that it's been, like you said, it's been a while. It's been in my life for 4 years, and so that it's not just something that's in my life. It is my life. It becomes my life. It's not something you clock out on and go home, and it's at least for me, my brain doesn't stop. And so the fact that my brain can just relax, so I'm relieved on that, but also just excited to finally get it out there, show it to people. That's the funnest part.
Absolutely. And the world of John Wick in general, created by Chad Stahelski, just has been received so positively by audiences, critics all over the world. You're no stranger to the action genre. You've made some pretty intense action films. How does this world that Stahelski helped build, how does that compare to some of the other action films that you have directed before?
I'd say the biggest difference is that the movies that I've done before, I mean, Underworld had a lot of fight action stuff, but it was also of an era. It was a lot of wire work type of stuff. But the biggest difference is the focus and detail on the hand-to-hand. And I'd say the thing that pops out the most is, I'm talking purely on the action side, is the time and attention and detail put into the choreography and the fight sequences, whereas something, say, like Die Hard, a lot of that focus is in the bigger scale action pieces, the vehicles, the and buildings, and how the explosion kind of content of it. And I love both. And it's so I'd say the kind of reverence for fight choreography, and the dedication time. If you on movies before, action projects that I have worked with, there's a lot more prep time for the large scale stuff. The fight sequence elements, the actors are rehearsing for a couple weeks, where it's a very actor-centric, actor-based action, are training for months and months.
And speaking of training for months and months, we know that Ana de Armas put the work in. I mean, it shows up there on the screen. But can you give us like a little bit more detail on like her regimen and like how much she like went through training wise to prepare for something like this? Because if I imagine for any actor, it has to be incredibly taxing.
It is. I mean, she went through just strength training. So they take you through strength. It's like going to, it's a bit of like having a drill sergeant getting you just strong first before the choreography. But it is really grueling, because they are also longer takes, and to learn that choreography, but also the endurance for it, because you do those long sequences many times, and So it's really tough. I mean, they like the team really puts her through it, and she would show up with bruises, scratches, things, and just show them, like, to me, like they're merit badges that she's kind of adopting. But yeah, it's a lot of work.
And of course, you have Keanu Reeves coming in for a couple of scenes as well. And he too gets physical in this. In terms of like just how much ownership he has over this role, what is it like working with him? I imagine he must have several ideas of input, or is he very receptive to what it is you're giving him?
I would say both. He's very receptive, and he's very, giving with ideas, and his brain's always spinning about, what layers could be added. He's so I would say he's both, and but he's wonderful to work with because the collaboration of what's there, what's in my mind, what he brings to the table of it, and he gets very invested. I mean, he was pitching possible ideas for if this were to continue, and actually the very end sequence of this movie, he sent me a text. He had already wrapped, and he said, just in the spirit of like within kind of a Wick tone, I had an idea. Just want to pitch you an idea for the end. I don't know if you have the set still, but that one set that that was in the administration building. But he pitched me an ending that I then put together and shot. So he's very invested. The end of the movie is Keanu's idea.
I love hearing that. Unfortunately, we lost Lance Reddick
Yes.
just a couple of years ago at this point, and or about a year ago, rather. And he was around to shoot his scenes for this still. It just goes to show you like how far back this production was shooting. But obviously, since his passing now, if you just have like any words to say about him whatsoever, I would just love to hear it, because I mean, it's just a loss for this franchise.
Yeah, it's
And
a
for the filmmaking community as a whole.
Loss for the franchise, loss for the world. He is a very, my experience with it, I shot with him for 2 days. And in that 2 days, just got to know he's one incredibly, he's a sweet guy. He's a passionate nerd, which I just loved. He's such a movie just geek, and we really got on that level, and really wants to just give you what you're looking for, and he's just a wonderful actor, but a wonderful person, and it's very sad, and I'm glad that I got the chance to experience him and and work together.
There's a line that always tickles me in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where Leonardo DiCaprio has a flamethrower, and he says, "That's too hot. Anything we can do about that heat?"
Right.
You have one of the most memorable flamethrower sequences ever captured on film in this movie. Is it true? Is it really that hot? Like, how the hell do you pull a sequence like that off? I can't even imagine how much you all must have been sweating on set.
It is extremely hot. I'd never shot a fire thrower before. Not that there's many opportunities to do that, but I've shot a lot of weapons, and I wanted to try it out. So to Anna, that I was trying it out for her to make sure it was safe. I just very selfishly also just wanted to try it. It's so powerful, but yes, it is. It's just like it's more like a heat wave than it's like just boom, I'm in Arizona in the middle of the desert, 126 degrees, and it's wild though, the power on it. And these flamethrowers also were different ones, and I learned a lot about different types of flamethrowers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very powerful, extremely hot, and it was done practically. This isn't CG fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can definitely tell. I'm always one to spot out the difference between the two, because I think the way that fire is captured in camera, like it just can't compare. It just has an incredible sense of danger, and not, but a controlled danger. Obviously, you guys are working with some of the best stunt team in the world on this, which actually kind of leads me into my next question here. Recently, the Academy just announced that there's going to be a stunt Oscar that's going to be introduced in about 2 years or so. What are your thoughts on that, especially considering this has been a section of the industry that has not had that kind of recognition for so long?
I think what took so long, honestly, I think it's wonderful. I've been waiting to see that for a long time. It's actually odd that it's not been a part of the Oscars. So I was thrilled to see that, and I think it took them a while, but finally it coming through. I think it's fantastic. I would love to see more of that within, fight choreography versus, the stunts. Because there's, in terms of movies that are, say, Fast and the Furious versus a movie like John Wick, very different kinds of action movies where it's, the lean in is fight choreography for a Wick movie, whereas, Fast and the Furious is more stunt based, than fight based. So I think they should start adding on. They should do sub, categories as well.
Sure. The Chancellor, who is played by Gabriel Byrne in this movie, he has control over this town in Eastern Europe. I believe you guys shot this in Prague, if I understand correctly.
We shot in Prague, and then we shot it was Gabriel's village. The Chancellor's village was in Austria.
So this is an existing town. You didn't have to build it necessarily from scratch.
No, it was one of the most just stunning, beautiful locations I found, and it was crucial that I shot here. And throughout most of the production, it was looking like it wasn't going to be possible. I just would not let it go, and finally got there. But I've never seen, because the town ultimately should be somewhat hidden, like tucked away. But I'd never seen just a town that was built on layers the way that one is. And it was just gorgeous in the vista and right on the lake. So yeah, I wouldn't let it go. It was a lot to get out there. And I'm so glad we did. But yeah, it's all real.
Yeah, that's amazing to me, and especially considering the logistics of having to shoot in the streets and shutting businesses down and so on and so forth. I can't even wrap my mind around it necessarily. But what I can wrap my mind around is the fact that the world of John Wick is so expansive. Characters are coming in from the existing films, new characters are being introduced. Now you're the first director to come on board since the original 4 and direct a film within this world. What can we expect next from John Wick?
What we expect next from John Wick,
the world of John Wick. I mean,
from the world of John Wick, I'm not sure. I would refer to Chad on that. I know Chad's, has some plans, so I'd ask him in terms of the universe. I would love to see Eve's character branch out. But I just was concentrating on what is the best movie. And if people really respond to it, I'd love to see it go further. But the true answer is, I don't know. Till there's a really great idea on the Ballerina side, I'm not completely sure what is in store. I think the audience, you guys would inform us and kind of tell us that we're on to a next one.
All right. Well, hopefully we do just that. And Len, I really, really appreciate your time here today. Thank you so much, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.